Hello. We're gonna go back into training mode and do Ramon today.
Member select.
My name is Nicholas Robinson Muir, aka ennohex, and I'm going to be doing breakdown for most of the characters of King of Fighters 14. Today, it's Ramon's turn. He can fight against the devil.
Stage select.
Let's go there. Alright, so Ramon's an interesting character. He's got a real space game in that he relies quite heavily on the sides of the screen to do quite a lot of his really good damage. So there are a couple of instances where certain combos will only work when he's back pretty close to the wall. I've included some combos at the end of this reel to give you an idea of some of those things that work like that. Otherwise, yeah, let's get straight into it. So, I think the first thing that you can mention is he's got a wall bounce. So you can jump off the wall by pressing away from the wall, and he bounces off the wall. Pretty much do whatever attack you want afterwards. And then you can take a look at the rest of his normals. He's got a very fast weak punch, A, standing, and far, try and cancel it. Close you can. Close you can cancel. Weak kick is kind of the same story. Far, also nice and fast, but you can't cancel it. Again, close you can. Fierce punch. This punch has actually got really good range. It looks a bit deceptive, but it actually manages to hit quite well. And also not cancelable. Fierce kick pretty much the same. It's a high. Take a look at the opponent ducking quickly. You whiff, but the standing fierce doesn't. So yeah, just remember, standing fierce kick is a high, it's going to whiff on crouching opponents. And as far as I know, it's not cancelable. Sure it is. Not cancelable, but the close one is actually cancelable. Alright, so that covers the basics. If you look at down and fierce punch, it is cancelable. It's got extremely good range, and it moves forwards, much like Vanessa's down and fierce kick. Or down and C in this case. Also cancelable, ducking weak punch, very fast but not a lot of really good range. I know they've patched out an infinite where you could run forward and just do ducking jabs the whole day, so that's missing. Ducking weak kick on the other hand doesn't even make him look like he's ducking. Also not really good range, but you can get a link to a punch using it. Down and fierce kick, or down and D. The sweep is nice and fast, and he also slides forward when doing it. So that covers his ground game. Jumping into the air, jumping weak punch, just this little chop. Pretty okay. Jumping weak kick. I wonder if that's an overhead. I mean a cross up. No. Oh yeah. But you wouldn't use it because you have something much better. And that is jumping fierce punch into the world's best cross up. Look at that. Not even sure. Easy peasy, jumping first punch, best cross. Awesome. Jumping fierce kick, very angled jumping attack. Take a look at his blowback attacks. His normal ED makes him up into the air, but it's not airborne when he does it. He can still cancel out of it. And then the air-to-air attack of choice, the jumping CD. He managed to tag a lot of people with this thing when they're in the air. All these grounded opponents. That's all the normals basically covered. Just want to check something on that weak punch. It does hit crouching, yes. Standing A does in fact hit crouching opponents as well. Choppy choppy. Alright, this guy's walk. So styling. Alright, so looking at the rest, I think we'll move straight into the special moves. He's got... No, let's do command normals first. Command normals, he's got a down forward and B. That is not cancelable on its own, but if you add it with another attack, it becomes cancelable. So he can cancel his down forward and B. Down forward and B, down forward and weak kick. And then he also has a forward and weak punch, and this is new. It is in fact an overhead. I wonder if it is an overhead. Opponent stands up for that one. Yeah. The second version is not an overhead. So in other words, if you fierce attack, forward and weak punch, it loses its overhead property, much like a whole bunch of other characters in this game. So you can see that the AI is going to block low, whereas when you do the overhead on its own, the AI blocks high. So yeah, forward and A on its own overhead. If you cancel that out from something, it's going to lose its overhead property. It does have a follow-up, so if you do the overhead, it has a down, and punch, down, A or C, as his pickup attack. And there's a whole bunch of those guys that do allow you to do pickups in between. So that's important to know. Then we can start looking at his specials, and he's got a couple of interesting ones. Most notably, the first one is down, A, then C. In which case he does this little hop. This little hop also has the follow-up, so if you nail someone with it, you can pick them up, and then after that, that's super cancelable as well. So that's good to know. You can do a couple of interesting things if you want to do. He's very mobile in that respect. So yeah, down, A, then C. It is important to note that if you decide to do a combo where you can use it as a follow-up, there's no pickup afterwards. Can't pick someone up after they've been hit on the floor as the OTG. So just remember that if you've done a combo and you try to use one of those attacks to pick someone up, you're not going to get it right. That combo is finished when he lands on someone who's been floored. So yeah, down, A, then C, and you can really be slow about that C when you finally add it. You can even get the weak punch out first before he does the actual attack. Yeah, there we go. Crazy. That's a very interesting move that he has. So let's take a look at the others. He has got a command grab. If you press half circle forward and punch, he does that. Obviously whipping motion. The A and C versions are identical, so there's not much difference there. The EX version just does more damage. There's no real extra benefit or bound or any lift or anything that he does in between. I was really hoping for him to have a wall throw bound where he would toss someone against the wall and you could follow up with something special. But he doesn't have anything like that. Okay, so that covers that. Then he has his rolling sobat. The rolling sobat is the dragon punch forward and B or D. It does this, and it also has a follow-up attack, two in fact. You can do the motion again, so he'll jump on someone, and then finally after the splash he can do the pickup as well. The down, and A or C. And again you can super cancel that into the super attacks. So that covers the rolling sobat. Then we have a whole bunch of walking things, or running things. So let's quickly run around those. If you press quarter circle forward and either kick, half circle forward and either kick, he'll do a run forward, and then jump off the opponent. The EX version is incredibly fast. So that's just important to know. Covers full screen, whereas the weak one does not. Okay, so the first one does not. Alright, so just bear that in mind, the EX goes across the entire screen, the other two do not. During those attacks, he also has different things he can do. I think one of them is stop. So if you press A and B, he will stop short, he won't carry on going. And that's that. I think he doesn't have anything else. If I look through command list, it's pretty much those, he doesn't have anything else. If you do quarter circle back and kick, however, he does something interesting where he runs towards the wall and then does a face down into the dirt. Naturally, if your opponent's closer, he'll get them. So you can do that kind of thing. Does not have a follow-up. But if you press the half circle forward and punch afterwards, you will get a throw, which does. See if I can get it. A little further away. Oh wait, they can duck it. Probably why. Alright, same kind of thing. So he does a throw then if you do the quarter circle forward and punch after running towards the wall. So that's it normally, and then obviously if you do the down and any punch button, you'll do the follow-up. then you can super if you want to. So yeah, and then he has another attack after that. So you can do quarter circle back and either kick and then forward and kick, which is something that knocks the opponent out. That actually does travel quite far. I don't think it'll make full screen if you're in the corner. I think the EX one does though. Right. Okay, see that doesn't make it, but I think the EX version does. There we go. Okay, so the EX version does make it all the way to the end of the screen. If we take a look at just the run on its own still, there are a couple of extra things that we can do. So quarter circle back and kick. If you press either diagonal up, or is it diagonal forward up? Yeah, he does a flip. So you can then stop that direction too. You can also do the A and B, so he'll just turn around and stop straight away. Eyeball back and B, A and B. So you can run away. And I think that pretty much covers the run attacks that he can do from that side. The super in itself isn't a run attack and then a super, but it looks very similar. So if you do the super, he will run and then do his super attack from there. We'll get to that later. Alright, so then he has quarter circle back and punch. Now if you use the A version and hold it in, he'll dance around a little, and if you let go, he's gonna do a drop kick. The C version, if you hold it back and let go, it just stops on the spot. So that's very useful for just, stopping straight out and trying something else like that. So you can get in and get out quite easily. So it's quarter circle back and punch, and he'll stop out straight away. Quarter circle back and punch, weak punch. That's the drop kick version. If we take a look at the EX version of that, there isn't one. So yes, Ramon has got a bunch of specials that cannot be EX'd. Most notably that one, and also obviously this, because there's no way to press two buttons afterwards again. Seeing as how the command is down, down, A, then C. Yeah, so you're not going to get an EX out of that. If you take a look at the EX for the Sobot kick though, you have a stun. So there's some plenty time to do another EX kick, pick up, super, whatever. So that makes part of his combo turn, and that basically you try and do the stun. And you can follow up with other things too. Or you can... Oh, that's too close. That kind of stuff. So you can look pretty flashy with the different combinations that you use. It tends to look quite neat. Not that he has really big combos. I think he's a very tactical type of player. You're probably not going to do much more than that kind of thing. So that's probably going to be his kind of like biggest asset combo, that sort of stuff. You include the cross-ups and the movement, and he becomes quite ferocious. When he's in the corner, let's take a look at that. What else? I think I missed the other EX. Oh yes, the other EX was the run back, but you've seen the two attacks for that. I think the normal headbutt, he comes in quite close as well. They can also be stopped the same way the others are. I think there was one more thing that was important from this. It was the headbutt, it was the other attack. Oh yeah, the fireball forward and punch attack goes a lot further then as well. So also useful to remember that. Still doesn't make full screen though. That kind of thing. So yeah, it won't make full screen, but the grab version of the quarter circle back and kick, and then half circle forward and quarter circle back, both kicks, and half circle forward and punch can still be followed up, and it goes a little bit further than its normal version. So you can use that on unsuspecting people. Of course, they have to be standing when you get them, so just bear that in mind as well. If we take a look at Ramon's one super specifically, the running super does not combo unless you're close to the wall. So there's plenty of time for an opponent to block that kind of thing. If you're closer to the wall though, it's a different story. Kind of like corner cross-up only to drag the person into the wall, and then you can do the rest of your attacks and it'll work. That kind of thing never really works. up really well. Most of the time it gets blocked. So it's really, really situational. So just keep that in mind. The EX version doesn't have that problem. The EX version stops the screen wherever you are, so that you can pretty much get it. Oh yes, and that does have the follow-up. So you can do the down, down, A, then C to follow up. Yeah, so the EX version really the one in choice if you're not gonna be jumping in and placing yourself in the corner. Otherwise, you're just gonna cause yourself much of a headache. Looking at the other super, obviously it's a command grab, so it is done close. There we go. And it just does 3 attacks instead of just the 1. Still looks very, very cool. And then if we take a look at his climax is also a command grab. That's pretty good distance. If I think right, I think he runs forward slightly. Yeah, okay, so he actually runs forward slightly, grabs the person. How far does he grab? Genius! We'll fight Genius in a minute. Yeah, so he runs all the way. So the cancel for him is in 2 places. You can use the super cancel. There's 2 spots. If you use the normal super, the one to use is this. I think you do 9 hits, 8 hits, and then you do the cancel for the climax. There we go, 7 hits. Alright, and that pretty much works for the 1. On the EX version, on the double special, you can actually do the cancel as he's posing, which again just reiterates my fact that he's made to look really cool. There we go, and then he runs forward to make him look even cooler. Right, so he's actually quite a simple character. There's nothing too strange about him. That's pretty much the breakdown for all his moves. I'm going to do some combos, but this video is very short, so you guys, if you feel I need to do something more, I need to invest a bit more attention into him, I'll absolutely do it, but I don't really feel he's worth a lot of interesting effort. Because he's quite cut and dried, and he's a throwback from the old King of Fighters as well, so most people who've played him, they understand how he works. You can be a tricky type of person if you choose to. I mean, there are things that you can do, cancel and then do overheads, that kind of stuff. You know, you have to play around with him in that sense. He's not going to be one of the characters that does extremely long combos, but he does things that once they hit, they do lots of damage. I mean, remember, he's technically a grab character, so you know, you're going to get grab damage out of him. So yeah, I'll put together some videos, enjoy them.